Well, yeah, the rise of fascism and nationalism.
So if we talk about history first, and then we'll go to the modern era, you go with that? Or?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine with me. Yeah.
Cool, let's go with that. So we're talking 1930s, Germany, Italy, I think Spain?
Was it Franco? General Franco, I guess Germany's the one everyone knows the most on.
We'll keep talking about like 2 world wars and 1 world
Cup. And yet very few people actually know what kind of happened, but so I guess the similarity, well no, not similarity, the main thing with Germany was the context it was set in. It was the fall of the Weimar government and the weakness that they were showing. The Nazis did a very good job of branding them as the traitors. They were the ones who signed the Treaty of Versailles, so a lot of people in Germany at the time, especially how detrimental the Treaty of Versailles was to Germany as a nation, the Nazis did a good job of phrasing that as
having the back theory.
Yeah.
We would have won the war, but the ministers in Germany were like, yeah, we need to surrender because stuff and stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't.
No. But the context that Nazi Germany happened in is a very... there's a lot to unpack with it, I guess.
If we start from the recession, you had the Young and Dawes Plan in the 20s, which really helped the German economy.
Yeah.
And those loans were taken back because the US were like, yeah, we kind of need the money now.
Yeah.
And so you had a lot of German manufacturing those needs. You had, what's it called, man? Hyperinflation because of the... Oh, God. The industrial area was occupied by France because Germany didn't pay back the loans.
The Ruhr,
that's the one. And basically France were like, you can't pay back our loans. It's like, it's like, we're going to invade your industrial partners. Like, yeah, that means we can't make anything. That means we can't help you out. And it's like, yeah, so what, bro?
Yeah.
And then they were like to the Germans, like, we need you to build stuff. And it's like, sorry, I don't speak French.
What language are you speaking?
It's like, all I hear is frogs and cheese. And so, sort of like, that economic problems creates a lot of anxiety within society. And then you have sort of government crumbles.
Yeah.
You move away from kind of centre-left, centre-right politics, and then you move towards the darker ways. So we saw that in obviously with Russia, when Lenin said peace, land and bread. He didn't say I'm going to give you communism and all these things. He promised 3 basic things which every peasant could relate to. That's what they wanted. Peace. So obviously the war decimated Russia.
Yeah.
A lot of the effort went to the front. And the Tsar was like, yeah, I'll go lead the war effort. And then you left a big man like Rasputin.
Yeah, Grigory Rasputin.
Yeah.
If you don't know him, give him a Google. He's a very interesting character.
To put the man down. I reckon he's a wizard or something.
The unkillable Rasputin.
Do you know what I mean? He could still be alive to this day.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So if you can hear any noise outside, there's construction going on, because I can hear it in my ears. So I don't know if I might speak now. So my apologies for that, because it's really digging him. I don't know if it's actually going on out there. I don't know if it's just I don't know if it's my ear just hearing things now at this point.
Yeah, we can't afford a studio, so if you want to...
I'm in the studio,
this bedroom is a studio, so subscribe and
once I get some subs, I'll
help Madge pay for a studio. Keep subscribing, keep liking, keep commenting.
Yeah, I like that. And so look, so you have economic anxiety, move away from centre politics. Then you have the dodgy characters come in, peace, land and bread. I'm not saying Lenin, grain requisitioning was pretty brutal, to be fair. And so look, if you're a person in that situation, you're poor. Peasant or whatever in Russia, guy's offering you an end to the war, he's offering you food, bread, and he's offering you land
to grow your crops. They just want to grow crops, feed the family. That's
be subsistence farming and sell some off in the market. That was the whole thing. And so you have that guy Lenin. Lenin is very close to communism or Marxism in that sense.
Yeah.
Even though he did the new economic policy, but he did that out of necessity, not because he's like, yeah, free market now, bro.
Yeah.
Here, we free marketeers. And so we had Lenin, obviously, in Russia. We had Germany recovered with the Weimar Republic, because obviously the Kaiser Wilhelm II, who had, I think, a tiny hand or something like that. So he was very, very, what's the word, man? Subconscious. Not subconscious, but, very worried about how his hands looked in pictures, which is great.
Oh, bless him. Sorry, Kaiser.
That's why he was, his hands were, out of the way.
Really? That's I have small hands, though, so...
So, yeah. Someone else has tiny hands, Donald Trump?
Yeah, we do, yeah. Small hand Trump.
Tiny hands.
Tiny Trump.
Yeah, when I think Rubio said tiny hands means something else, and I was like, wrong.
Yeah.
That's what US discourse has come to, changing room insults, man. And so the point being is that you need economic anxiety. So you need some sort of recession within a country. You
need people with something to fear, and the thing people fear the most is the economy.
And so Germany economy tanks. You had the Spartacists in 23, I believe. 1923 in Germany, who tried to overthrow the Weimar Republic. They were like, sit down,
Yeah.
you're done. And so the Weimar Republic survived. But the Weimar Republic starts to crumble. Hitler starts winning more votes, starts blocking things within the PR system, which is Germany, because you didn't need 5% back then of minimum. You could just get in.
Yeah.
And so I think, I can't remember what the exact story what happened, but it was like the triangle of evil where I think the Chancellor basically gave Hitler more and more power.
It was von Hindenburg, wasn't it? Was von Hindenburg?
Something like that.
Or von...
His problem was that he
Which one was von Schleicher?
I can't remember.
I think it was von Hindenburg. No, von Hindenburg was the president.
It might have been him, but
there's a lot of
names aren't important here. Names aren't important.
Okay.
The important bit is, because we'll spend all day trying to figure this out.
Yeah,
Carl's will come back tomorrow. The point being is that he gave Hitler more and more power, became more reliant on his votes, and then eventually Hitler got to the spot of, I think it was von Hindenburg, where he took an oath to protect the Weimar Republic, so he's very reluctant to give Hitler any sorts of power, purely because he knew Hitler wanted to destroy the Weimar Republic. He made it very obvious, very clear. And so then you had the Reichstag fire in 36.
Yeah,
so Germany's economy is tanking. You had hyperinflation and then he
was
made
it 36? The Reichstag fire, was it that late?
Oh, it might have been.
Because I know that was where, I'm pretty sure Hitler would come to power, and because they blamed the communists for it, didn't they? Because they were, from memory, Hitler wanted
33.
33, yeah. Because that was when Hitler had just come to power, pretty much, and Hitler basically wanted to control the entire Reichstag. So the theory is that they caused the fire, blamed it on the communists.
Oh no, it was very obvious that.
Oh yeah.
And so basically, what my point being is that A, you had economic anxiety within Germany. B, you already had the Spartacist Revolution in 23. So you had an attempted coup. Hitler blamed the communists for this, and so you've got a rising tide of fear. You've got the stab in the back theory. You've got the fact that we should still be a great country. However, it was those ministers back then, the Jews who caused all these problems.
Yeah.
You got a back problem, blame a Jew, like that sort of thing kept happening, and so you've got this rampant rise of xenophobia, anger towards people who didn't deserve it at all.
No.
Didn't deserve it at all. And so the people you should really be blaming us, whoever gave Austria the blank check to go to war with when their prince was killed, or whether when someone threw a frag in his car, or they shot down his wife. I can't remember which one it was. There was a lot of violence.
We're not a history podcast, alright? Leave us alone.
Okay.
We know the stuff that happened, just not the specifics.
We don't rate experts in this country anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless you're expert on the on viruses, then we like you.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're an EU expert, then we don't really like you that much. It's conflicted.
It's a long story, alright.
Okay. And so basically, my point being is that you need economic side. You need these factors to come in. So what did we see recently? We saw 2008, the Great Recession. Not as bad as the Depression, because the Depression was
catastrophic for the whole world. Like that was
pretty much decimated
that was
most
a
of the world's
different
economies.
level of...
It was insane. Like they had to bail out the banks in 2008 because you would have a depression era kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we had that. Right? We had a lot of economic anxiety over the last 10 years. The Conservatives took power. Austerity. People are poorer now. Wages have just come back to pre-recession levels.
Yeah.
So it took us over 10 years to get back to the place we're at now. And so you've got that. You've got more migrants coming into the country. And now you've got your scapegoat. So
yeah, you've got your common enemy, which is a very similar link to Nazi Germany.
And Momentum covered this very well. So what they did was a video where they blamed everything on the Asian guy who's like he's taking up all the resources, all the school places, and all that stuff. And so my point being is that what we've done is we blamed EU migrants for everything. Why can't you get a doctor spot? EU migrants. Why can't you get a school spot? EU kids.
Yeah.
What else? We'll say crime, EU people. Everything.
Hospital waiting times.
Yes.
Overcrowded transport.
I think about 12% of EU work, the NHS workforce, something like that.
Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it's more as well.
Do you think it's more?
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know the figure.
I'd have to check that. I'll put that in as a fact check, as I have to often do.
Thank you.
Because I'm freestyling out here. But yeah, my point being is that if it's about 12%, you're talking about what? 1 in 10 staff members.
Just over, yeah.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. And so even if you did bring in nurses and people from non-EU countries, you still have a massive problem with language barrier, because even German, sort of Polish and whatever, the languages are very different, but they still use the same kind of basic alphabet. Apart from they use the umlaut.
Yeah. Well, so do we though, don't we? Our English is very Germanic in its origins.
French and Germanic, yeah. But if you get someone from, say, Bangladesh, the alphabet is completely different. Like the way Bengali is written, it's just weird.
Yeah.
And even if you got, say, even Arab people, like the way they write is completely different. So I'm talking about the language barriers. It's very hard to learn a language outside of, of your area.
It is. I can testify.
Which one are you trying to learn?
Russian.
Yeah, their alphabet's quite different as well.
It's Cyrillic, yeah. I can have a decent conversation with someone, but it's just because the alphabet base is so different.
And so yeah, if you get people from non-EU countries in to do these jobs, if you can manage it, because my point has always been like, if you hate people who, look, Polish or whatever, you're definitely not going to like people like me who are brown, because it's a lot more obvious.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if your problem is them, then your problem is going to be a lot more with me, people, who look like me, or people from other parts of the world.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, the darker kind. And so you're going to need a lot more people from non-EU countries to come in and fill the gaps.
Yeah.
Are they going to want to come to a country that's racist?
No.
Because you don't go to a place you're not welcome, regardless how much money they give you.
Yeah, and even the money and conditions are crap.
Or you stay here for 5 years and you go back.
Yeah.
Like a lot of EU migrants do. They leave the family behind, they come here, they work for about 5-10 years, and they go back.
Yeah.
The Polish unemployment rate is extremely low, and they need people to come back and do the jobs there.
Yeah.
And that's where they'll go. And that's it. Do you know what I mean? What was the question again?
Professional podcast.
And that's kind of talking about the rise of nationalism. That's where it comes from. The point being of economic anxiety. Things are going badly for me.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is your fault. Maybe you've made bad decisions.
So yes, the things we covered there, like, I guess you can argue there's different. But like, I think the most important factor is having a common enemy.
I think the economic anxiety is one, because that's what creates it. You need, you need a reason to hate someone else generally. Unless you're one of those people who are like, I just don't like him just because I don't like.
Yeah.
Crane said that about Corbyn. I don't like the cut of his jib. I'm like,
that doesn't make sense.
Like, what does that even mean? It's like just something about him I don't like.
Where you're with the kind of economic conditions that it requires, I think you don't get nationalism without an enemy that you need to focus on, and you have to divert. Because you can blame anything. If you convince the media enough and you spin it enough, you can convince that any problem is the fault of any group or society.
It's a mix of those two, where one can lead you to feel, or even if you believe one. Say you hate Eastern European people anyways, right? And now you've got a secondary reason to hate them because they're taking your job.
Yeah.
Or they're taking, your spot for your kids, so now you have to go to a further out school.
Or they're taking benefits that you like. What I don't get is just like, they're taking our jobs. They're taking our benefits. They can only have one. So
you do get in work benefits, like you get housing benefits and stuff like that. But my fundamental point is that if you're mad that there's not enough houses being built, there's not enough housing, bro, that means we have to build more houses.
Yeah, that's not a problem with the population. That's a problem with your government.
Because at the end of the day, say you kick out, people in the area from Eastern Europe, right? What's to stop rich people from just buying the house you want anyway?
Yeah, which they very easily can, and then just renting it at a hugely inflated price.
Do you know what I mean? We don't have enough houses in this country, right? More people coming in doesn't help the problem, but at the same time, we need more people with expertise in construction to build more houses.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the problem right there. People don't understand these intricate points where, the common argument of, we don't need to buy players in, we can just get them from the youth academy.
Yeah.
It's like, A, it takes a long time to do that. B, you don't know if they're going to be
it's a risk.
as good as the people you can get in now.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Like my boiler needs changing now. I can't wait 5 years for some kid to learn how to change a boiler and be his first one.
I need someone to do it now. I need someone to sort my patio. I don't know,
whatever problem you have now.
This is something we can talk about for.
And you can talk about how even in our school, all the kids who weren't good academically were put on doing brickwork and all that stuff. It wasn't us. Do you know what I mean? And you can talk about this problem within the school system.
Well, we went straight to things like your histories, your sciences, your maths.
You can say that's a massive problem because they don't teach you basics in school, like how to change a light bulb and things like that. I mean, being high up on a chair and thinking bro, grab onto the chair or else.
It's quite weird to think about now that the kids who were deemed not academically intelligent were just thrown to construction and labour work, whereas those who obviously
any kind of,
were able to were academic standards intelligence decent, could do written work.
That's a real shortage within the construction market and all these other things like.
There always and there's always a job for mechanics, construction workers, engineers. There's any trade is a great thing to get into.
You can argue that we don't train enough people here to do these jobs, but these jobs are very hard to do.
Oh yeah, I can't even change a stapler. I can't do anything with my hands.
Well, we don't get taught these things in school, and that's why we bring in a lot of people. And you can say that's a problem within the school educational system. That's fine, but at the same time, it's going to take years for us to fix that. So you have to do both. You have to get people in to do it now, and you've got to get people trained up to do these things.
The focus of a school is to just show 98% of our students went to university. That's what they want.
Yeah, you're right, because our school was like that as well. Yeah. And they push more people into academics because, you know what I mean? Like
we did quite well out of school. Obviously Madge and I both went to university, both got our 2-1s and whatnot, and a lot of our school's focus, because I was tempted to not really go to university. I missed quite a lot of school, and a part of me was like, I just won't bother going to university. I'll just try and get a job and see what happens. But the school kind of pushed me to go.
They did that because they keep asking you, like, what are you going to do once you're...
and they were very helpful with the process.
Yeah.
But it's because they have to be, because that way they can then show to
It's
parents.
all ranking tables now.
Yeah, and they can go to parents, 99% of our kids went to universities.
Good universities
and,
as well.
And 30% went to Oxford, Cambridge, blah, 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 blah.
Big up Jimmy Adams, a big Southampton graduate.
Yeah, very smart guy.
Yeah.
Maybe I think he could be too smart, but a great lad.
He could drop he could drop a lot of points and still be way above us.
Yeah, that is true.
But the being is that, like, sorry, you want to say anything?
I was going to say that the focus was on university, and there was such little... Year 11, the focus was get as many people to sixth form as you can.
Because of money.
And then get everyone to university as you can. And yeah, it's money for the school, and it also gets them to put in, when they're advertising for spaces, that they go, look at all our sixth form students. He went to Oxford, he went to Cambridge, he's doing computer science, he's doing history at a great university.
Other nerd stuff.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, stuff that people go, oh, that's so impressive, well done.
He's a smart kid, he's studying, X subject. But they don't teach us basics in school.
No, like stuff like checkbooks and that. I don't know. I've never written a check. I don't want to.
I'm still not sure. Like my mum, like she writes checks. I'm just like,
I'm too scared. I ain't doing that. I got online bank.
And like you can get mad at like EU migrants coming in and doing a job that the jobs like the basic ones that we don't want to do, and the more important jobs that have to be done, like working in the care sector.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you got to imagine, like, unless they force people into these sectors where you can get people who don't really want to be there. What are you going to do if your grandma gets ill and you can't look after her? You don't have the skills or the time necessarily to do it. You have to get a carer in, someone from outside who comes into your house and looks after him for a couple of hours.
Well, you can't work 8 hours, take care of your mum, make all the stuff.
It's difficult,
and also get to sleep at a good time. It's not possible. You need help.
What happens when there aren't enough carers in the system? And so, you try and hire someone, they're like, look, I've got offers from these various people, you're going to have to pay me, 20 quid or something. You're going to be like, bruh. And so the point being is that we need people within the system to do these things. And also at the same time, like, there's a human element to this as well, where they come here, some of these guys, they live in like 8 man in a house. Yeah. Or things like that. And that's a government failure though. If you want to stop people doing that, you have to put more restrictions on, what's it called? HMOs, I think it was, where you have like multiple occupancies in one house. Yeah. You have to restrict it.
And that's not the fault. People are coming here to try and make a life for themselves. You can't criticise people for doing that. And these people are coming here doing a good service and then going like no one else is doing it. No one else is filling that service. They're doing the jobs that British people don't want to do. A lot of them, like stuff like cleaners, handymen, stuff like people. We haven't got British people to do it, so we need to outsource it. These people come in here, they're making enough money, saving it, and then going home to live better. We can't argue that because we need them more than...
Yeah, like, if you're going to complain about these people, you're going to have to pick up the slack and do what they...
Yeah, you can't criticise people. You can't criticise your, Polish electrician. Yeah. You can't do it, and you haven't got anyone else who can do it.
The scary fact is, Priti Patel talked about how she wants to get more people who are economically inactive. She's talking about old people, people that retired...
Disabled
people, school people that are in education.
Yeah.
Because they have different ways of measuring unemployment. Like in America, they have like the U6, where they're like everyone who's unemployed, so students are included in that, and they have like the actual unemployment number, which is like not including schools and stuff like that. And so, if you want to get all these people who are economically inactive, good luck. Because if you're pushing people to sacrifice their education to get a job now, then it's not going to end well for either.
I think with the question of the rise of fashion, I think that's a whole podcast job.
A whole podcast.
I think it might be.
I think
especially with the time constraints that we're on, I guess it's a bit of a pain.
Cool, but we'll skip that.
I'd love to cover that in an entire podcast because we could do a good hour and a half, 2 hours.
So we'll go